Or como allez-vous? And Gervais très bien. Bonjour. Good to see everybody. I hope we can break our record last week. We did very, very well last week. So I think we can get over 3K in here tonight. But anyway, in usual fashion, you know, thanks for the gift. Thanks for the gift. In usual fashion, you know what we do. We toast up before we get started. So if you're new, make sure that you have your cognac, your tea, your coffee, your water, or whatever you drink, because we always started off this way, okay? All right, here's everybody on the line. Now listen, if you missed it last week, we kind of discussed that parent-children relationship and how to make that thing better. I mean, if you missed it, I would highly recommend, especially for your children, your teenage and young adult children, I would recommend that you go back and you view it with them. There are a lot of different pointers that we made in that discussion, and hopefully they can help you. But this week, all right, thank you. But anyway, this week we're going to talk about loyalty, right? Now, it may seem like it's kind of mundane and kind of just a broad topic, but we're going to narrow it down and we're going to discuss some dynamics that pertains to loyalty. We want to know, how far should we go in loyalty? How far should we be willing to go? And are we required to be loyal regardless of what has been done, whether or not it's legal or illegal? We're going to talk about it. So let me bring my co-host on and we're going to get started, all right? Y'all go ahead and nurse your drinks a little bit. But we hope you all had a great week. Hey, DeGeorgia, how are you?
Man, I'm unpacking. I've been unpacking for I don't know 78, 95 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the more you do, the more you get done. So you'll be all right, okay?
Yeah.
We praying for you and we with you on this side over here, all right?
That is not helping me.
Hey, I'm just trying to give you a word of
Go like
encouragement.
with them old people. So we praying for you. We
Yeah,
praying.
we praying for you because we know how it goes. I mean, I did that for 22 years in the military, and I'm telling you, after a while, man, that thing get old. All the unpacking, breaking your dishes, and filing claims, and not enough space, and
I
all that
don't
stuff.
like it at all.
I feel you. I feel you.
Oh
But,
Jesus.
you're gonna get through it. We trust that you will. Hey, thank all of you for the gifts. You know, I try to shout everybody out every now and then, but sometimes we get involved with our discussion and I might overlook it. But charge it to my head and not my heart. All right. Hey, Ingrid.
Mm.
Hey, Adrian. All right. But anyway, tonight we're going to be discussing loyalty and how far we should go with loyalty. I know a lot of people really don't understand what loyalty is. You know, it's a fine line between being are being taken advantage of and really support the people that we care about. So a lot of times we get that confused when we talk about loyalty, but we're going to talk about different cultures and different circumstances where loyalty uh, has to be questioned. And you have to decide for your own self, should you remain loyal or not? Okay? Now, loyalty is very powerful. Loyalty in a relationship is very powerful, but it's not meant to be limitless. In other words, that doesn't mean just because you are loyal that forever and a day and whatever the circumstances, you should support a certain individual, whether or not it be your spouse, your girlfriend, a co-worker, or whatever. When we go too far with loyalty, it stops being loyalty and turns into self-neglect. When you
Oh,
go
I, I,
too
th- I
far,
thought you, I thought you were gonna say if I know you had somebody hiding up under the bed and I don't tell. Oh, that you
what?
mean like that? That's
No, we no, no. Hey, we got to understand that there's a limit to what our loyalty is. We have to understand that. All
Oh,
right.
okay. Well, just so you know, I mean, I don't. You know what? This a hard subject right here, cause
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
can't some stuff we don't.
And
We
look,
die with, bruh.
we don't shy away from hard topics. That's the reason that we are having a little bit of success because we don't shy away from things that are hard or are difficult to talk about. But it's very very important and it's essential that people understand the difference between being taken advantage of and what loyalty is. So that's what we're here to do. Hey Keith, what's happening?
Yo,
All right, all right. How's your week so far?
flew by. I can't believe we're March 4th already. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, let me shout out. My mother's birthday is today. So happy birthday, Mom, and I love you.
Happy
Happy birthday to your
birthday!
mom. Definitely.
Yeah, it just seemed like the yesterday when we had that when she had that purple dress on and we were dancing at her birthday party.
Yep, she got better moves than you. Mama got some moves.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
All that ain't necessary.
She got some. He was trying, y'all. Y'all go back on his page and look at that. It's so cute, though. It's cute. He trying, but his mama got it now.
Oh yeah, hey, that's that AKA. I didn't understand why she didn't wear her colors, but I found out recently that purple was her favorite color, so that's why the whole building and her dress was in purple. But anyway, let's get on back to our subject. Like I said, when we go too far with loyalty, it stops being loyalty, then it becomes self-neglect. At its best, loyalty means standing firm. It means standing firm with someone through difficulty, imperfection, and growth. Its commitment is consistent and means you have somebody's back when it matters. Now all that's a broad statement, and we all hope that we will be there for our loved ones and the people that we care about when they need us. All right, but my whole point of this whole discussion is there has to be a limit. We're going to talk about gang affiliations, we're going to talk about co-workers and friendships, because those are the three most popular categories where your loyalty is tested. And if you aren't careful, you go from being a loyal friend to being someone that's always trampled over and having problems. And we don't want that to happen to any of us. All right?
Why you gotta put the coworkers in there? Cause them heifers ain't loyal. Ain't nobody. They ain't loyal to nobody. So why you gotta put them? That you shouldn't even put them in there. Ain't no coworkers loyal to nobody.
Yes, they
Period.
are.
Other
Every,
than
every,
themselves, they loyal to themselves. And when something is fitting for them, like if it's something that's gonna benefit them, and that's for real, for real. It ain't got nothing to do with okay, she did, she that, other types of loyalty, that's your kids or that's your spouse, this, that, and the third. It ain't even like that. They ain't loyal.
well, that's true with some people, Miss O'Neill. There are some co-workers, there are some people who have developed great relationships and great friendships with their co-workers. I'm not saying that's the case all the time, but there are some places that do that. So we don't want to discriminate. We want to make sure that we include them all. Now I know you, your situation may be a little bit different. Okay, but we understand. Y'all come on in, keep on coming in. We welcome you and we thank you and we love you. So we're going to try to surpass that 3K that we had last week. But it's really having someone's back when it really matters, not just when it's easy. Now, see, here's a bone I have to pick with a lot of people. You can have friends that ride with you. You can have people that you deal with on a daily basis, and they're cool. And I tell this in my discussions and my lectures all the time. It's easy to get along when everything is peaceful and everything is going right. You find out who your real friends are when you have some difficulty or you need some help. I can guarantee you. All right? But loyalty should have clear boundaries, and that's what I want to discuss. Loyalty should have clear boundaries. It should not go, it should go far. It should go further than those associates and those people that are not as close to you. So it should go far, but it shouldn't go too far, if that makes sense. It can go far, but it shouldn't go too far. Anybody know what I mean by that? Too far? Miss O'Neill, I know you got a comment.
I ain't even saying that because I know ain't nobody loyal for us. Pat turned the corner, like my grandmama used to say. I ain't never find out who Pat was, but I know how they turn the corner. Ain't nobody loyal in that, and that's what I'm saying. Not no co-workers. Let me tell you something. Not no co-workers. Now, you know, I got a few ride or die people that I've been friends with or been around since, you know, I was young. But you know, for the most part, for real, it's hard to find friends like that or find people that you can include in your circle that say they are loyal to you, unless it benefits them solely in some way, shape or form, you know. But my grandmama did tell me, like, ain't nobody loyal for us. Pat turned the corner. I ain't figured out what that meant yet. I ain't met Pat and I ain't turned no corners, but I do know it ain't many loyal people around. That's what my mom said.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm with you what you're saying. I'm with you what you're saying. I'm vibing with you. I'm listening, you know.
But
for
Keith,
me,
you know that there are some loyal people now. Come on.
that's what I'm saying. I'm vibing with you. I'm talking about you. I'm vibing with you. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
No, he was talking about vibing with you because you know he wasn't talking about vibing with me because I'm just telling the truth.
No. Hold on.
What we holding?
Who I'm vibing with has nothing to do with the person. He set the tone by saying what he's saying. So what your answer was to what he's saying, I'm coming back to what he's saying because he also mentioned it. I'm not disregarding what you said. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just coming back to what he said. No. Don't mistake what's happening. We all have open access to state how we want to speak and speak from our heart. So no. I'm coming back
to see my face right now.
So I'm coming back to his point of, listen, there are a lot of loyal people. And the reason there's a lot of loyal people is because those said people are looking for a strong person, personality, whoever, that actually has their back, that actually is in their corner, that actually maybe sees something from their perspective, whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean that you're making yourself be fake, right? We're talking about authentic loyalty. Okay, I can only say it this way. Me and Mr. G met by accident, right? And he is at a level where he has to be very cautious about who he lets into his personal space and network and everything. Now, there's levels to everything. So I had to earn my stripes, right? So what I mean is that loyalty is without putting yourself like, okay, let me say it this way. Loyalty can be used against you. It's like when you go to court, they say what you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Loyalty can be used against you because you're saying, I'm so loyal. Now they're going to say, all right, well, go kill this person and come back and then we'll know you're loyal. So, and guess what? If you go down, we're gonna hold you down while you're in there, and then when you get out, you're a made man. Okay, well, is that really loyalty, actually, or is that someone putting off on you to go do whatever it is the situation, right? So when we talk about loyalty, we're not talking about that type of stuff. We're talking about genuine stuff where you see someone who maybe has told you something or taught you something or said something to you that they didn't have to do. They didn't need to pass that on to you. They actually can keep it to themselves because they already got it. But now, if they impart something to you, how do you look at them? Do you say, you know what? That person actually doesn't have to do that. So let me have the attitude of gratitude, and I'm going to be loyal to this person. That means that they've shown you that what they do, whether you succeed or not, doesn't matter. They're trying to impart it on you and hoping that you choose to succeed versus fail. So now, when you find those type of people and you look at them, loyalty is I'm going to do right because you did right first, in the sense of you stepped out and said, I believe in you. You saw something in me, maybe like a coach that I didn't see in myself. Now we're on the same page, but that's why we connected anyway. So now you saying do X, I'm going to do X because I know that you have my best interest in mind, which means you have a vested interest. So if you tell me to jump off the building, I know that you probably got a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, mats and everything at the bottom.
No, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Bro. I ain't with you. I'm about singing that Keith Sweat song. Who? Nobody. I'm
okay.
I'm not gonna be with you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not gonna trust nobody. Oh, listen.
But
Nobody.
listen, Miss O'Neill. He's just talking about the appreciation for someone who's proven that they are loyal to him first, and that they are willing to step up. To
You know what, Mr. G? You know what, Mr. G? It's not even that they're proving to me that they're loyal first. It's that they're proving in themselves that they know that they have to, whatever they want to get back, they have to give it first. So even in your case, at your levels, you understand that at some point you have to trust if you're going to see if that person can live up to the expectation of what it takes to be in your circle. So at some point you're going to say, you know what? I defer to you. I'm going to let you show me who you are, right? But what I'm saying is you don't do that on a stipulation. You don't do that on like this is how it has to go. You allow it to authentically happen. So what I'm saying about loyalty is that when you see that person give you that opportunity and could have shot you down from the beginning, and whatever it means, we're not talking about money. We're talking about genuine opportunity in what we're saying. And now you look at it and you understand that they had nothing to lose or gain. They're just doing it because it's whatever, right? And that's the right thing to do. Now, if you as a person step into that space, loyalty is I saw that you did what you did, but you didn't have to. So now I'm saying, well, if you didn't have to do that and you did it anyway, that means that there's a certain reason and we understand what those reasons are. So now if I'm going to roll with you, I have to be loyal to everything because you did what you didn't have to do. I respect it. And that's not, that doesn't make you lower or less, if that makes sense. That's a different type of loyalty of what we're talking about.
Yeah, but see, the thing with loyalty is this as well, and I get your point. You know, because we are intimately involved in relationships and business and whatnot, so I know exactly what you're saying. But the other fact of the matter is that even in cases where you're loyal to someone, it has to protect your inner peace and yourself. See, a lot of times, and we're going to get into how gangs use loyalty, how friends use loyalty to disadvantage the one that's being loyal. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Anointed Jim. Hey, Aberty. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. But the case is, that's why I said that loyalty has to have boundaries. Loyalty is healthy when it includes support during hard times. Now, when we talk about hard times, it doesn't mean that you got to be completely destitute or that there's something dramatic happening in your life. It could be anything where you can have a conversation when nobody else would listen. That's a form of loyalty if you have that kind of relationship with an individual. You don't abandon people when life gets messy for them. That's a component of loyalty. You don't abandon people when things start going bad. That's why I mentioned early, it's easy for people to ride with you when things are going well. You find out who's really loyal and a friend when things get difficult. And that's the test of time. It's been proven. Not only when things get messy, but you're patient even with their flaws. Even when you know that, because nobody is perfect. We're all imperfectly made, but we're made perfectly in the eyes of our Creator. Right? Hey, Rita.
I kind of have a problem, and I'm serious now, because y'all been knowing me for a good long time, and Greg, you've been knowing me a little longer than Keith, and I have been like, I've been that person. You know what I'm saying? I've been that girl that is just there for everybody. I will go above and beyond, this and that and the other. And there's a lot of times that I found people don't appreciate, in all seriousness, people don't appreciate loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people have such a misunderstanding because, I found, especially dealing with family, they feel like because they family, blood over water kind of thing, that regardless of what happens, you should be loyal to them. And
You're right. You're
and
right.
so
You're right.
and even friends that I have helped, and we can't name the situation, but you know what I'm talking about. I've helped and gone above and beyond, and then, well, you didn't do this for me. Well, I paid you this that way, but I can do this because you just don't want to hear what I gotta say because I'm real. You ain't never did nothing for me, So it's kind of like now, and this is some things that's happened to me recently, and with my family, it's happened, like all through time. I'm 52 now, so it's been happening a while. So I just have put that shell there, for me. So I don't particularly gravitate toward people. I don't particularly like to trust people. Like, y'all and about 6 other people, if that many, 7, that's what I consider somebody tried and true, or true friends, or true people, and it's really sad. And, other than like a few cousins, I don't really have anybody in my family that I can go to and be like, okay, this and this happened without judgment. Because some people, when you're loyal to them, they're not loyal to you because they find stuff to throw up in your face and this and that and the third. So I guess that's why I have a problem with this subject right here, is because I've never really and truly experienced loyalty from those that I wanted the loyalty from, or that I felt like I needed. So, outside of that, I found loyalty from people that aren't even blood related. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's why, when I talk about this, or, like when I'm joking about it, I'm serious. Like, if I'm loyal to you, that's something. You know what I mean? So now it's something, because so many people took my loyalty and took advantage of it. Right. So, I didn't know that they were taking advantage of it, because, they were, it was family, or if it was somebody that was real close, or
I get
somebody
it.
that I was trying to help, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm very, very cautious about who I help, who I let into my space. Like, perfect. I just moved, and then somebody dying to come. Oh, I can't wait to come over. And I had to just really say, no, I just took you out my whole life, So
Look, Georgia,
I'm to that point right now.
Look, we understand all the reasons why people aren't loyal to people, or why they're skeptical.
Right.
So we're gonna give a little easement to that and give some definition as to why. And I'm not saying that you should be loyal to everybody that you know. That's part of the
Oh yeah,
main
yeah, that's a
discussion.
given.
Yeah, that's part of our main discussion that we're going to be talking about. But the bottom line is that you have to have clear boundaries when we talk about loyalty. You
Right.
know, you have to. It's only healthy when it includes supporting people during difficult times, and you're patient with their flaws. You're honest, even when it's uncomfortable. You know, a lot of times people confuse just being a yes person with loyalty. You know, if you're not telling that individual that you're supposedly loyal to, and you're supposed to be loyal to people that you care about, right? And you want
Right.
them to be better. So if you're not being completely honest with them, then you're doing them a disservice. You have to grow together in that relationship. As you were just discussing, you're talking about people that didn't grow with you, or the loyalty was not reciprocated. So I get it. I'm not loyal to those kind of people either. Hey Rita. Hey Helen. Yeah. So we have to understand there's a limit. Remember what I said from the beginning. You go far with loyalty, but you don't go too far. So we're debating the true meaning of loyalty in personal relationships. Okay? Loyalty is earned. Earned loyalty is built on mutual respect and effort. This is the loyalty that you want. Earned loyalty. If that person, see, what you're discussing is that people have not proven to you that they are loyal and that they deserve loyalty. So it has to be earned, first of all, as Keith was alluding to about our relationship.
Right. That's what I was trying to give the example of how you earn it. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we earn the respect for each other. Even though, you know, he knows where I am in life and we know where each other are, but it has nothing to do with your place in life. Our consequences are always the same because you can be up today and down tomorrow. You can have the biggest mansion in the world and it can catch fire and burn down. So we all have the same consequences and the responsibility to each other when we say that we're loyal to that individual. But loyalty does not exist if it's not built on respect, on mutual respect and effort. That's the first thing that we have to make it a part of our definition. If we don't do that, we're not dealing with loyalty. We're dealing with something else. And it's going to be a one-sided relationship in most cases. So our discussion and what you were talking about, DeJoya, is
Why you
okay.
gotta say my name like that?
I'm
You
sorry.
gotta add the French, Spanish, and all that. DeJoya. You do not have to say
Do
my
I need to
name.
drop my voice a little bit? DeJoya.
Oh
That's
Lord,
what
say
you
it
like.
again. Okay, y'all, we going.
So here we go. You said that you're skeptical, and I am too. You're just more open about your skepticism. I'm skeptical about people who come into my circle. I think Keith talked about that. And I think that most people are. We just don't invite people into our circle unless we have some type of relationship, right? We have to have some kind of relationship. Hi, Marco. Hi, I don't know how to say your name. Dipseh. How do you? But anyway, so the question is, where should loyalty stop? Where should we stop being loyal to other individuals? I think that's the bigger question. Because we're gonna hit and miss. We're gonna be loyal to people and they're gonna disappoint us. They're not gonna behave in the manner that we would expect them to behave. That's a given. People will disappoint you all the time. The only thing that won't disappoint you that I know of are animals. You get you a dog, he ain't gonna ever disappoint you. You get you a cat, they ain't gonna disappoint you. All right? But people will always disappoint you. Loyalty becomes dangerous when it asks you to accept disrespect, betrayal, or repeated lies. That's when loyalty becomes dangerous. When someone expects you to be just all out for them, regardless of the circumstance. When they want you to accept the way that they're being disrespectful to you, they want you to accept the betrayal once they do it. They want you to accept all those lies that they continuously tell you. And they want you to stay in that one-sided relationship. Have mercy. How can somebody expect you to, and trust me, trust what I'm saying. There are people who will do things wrong or things to you that they know are wrong. But when it happens, they expect you to understand. That's just crazy to me. All right, let me move on before I get too emotional charged in this this particular part. But they expect you to stay inside of an one-sided relationship. They want you to tolerate the abuse that they're giving, emotional, mental, or physical. They expect you to tolerate that. Now that's just crazy to me. Hey, Mitch, what's happening? I know your username now. All right.
And then when you speak up about how you're not tolerating it, they act like you the enemy and you're wrong for speaking up. And now you got friction with people and you're saying, hold on, I'm standing up for myself. Cut that ish out.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I told you I'm with you.
That's what I'm talking. You should see my fist right now.
So now I'm saying, hold on. So I'm wrong for standing up for myself? Hell no.
Yeah,
you can eat that one. You can eat that one. But listen, DeJoya, I'm like you. That's something where you're not gonna get that as a person. If you the one projecting your baggage, you're projecting your whatever it is, and I'm standing up saying no, you can't get that. No, you're never gonna get that. But I think what we're talking about is where does that come from? And that's basically what Mr. G is talking about, because it's a loyalty. There's perceived loyalty, and what he's talking about is what loyalty really is.
Right. Absolutely. But, and it's just weird to me that people would actually think, like you just said, and DeJoya said it earlier, they expect you to take it. Man, I don't how can somebody with a sound and sane mind expect you to accept being mistreated? That's crazy. Hey, LMS. Hey, Valerie, how are you? So listen, when they expect you to tolerate abuse, whether or not it's emotional, physical, or mental, and they expect you to ignore your values. We all have values, some more than others. They expect you to ignore your values, ignore your peace, and to ignore your purpose. So when these people don't respond like in kind and reciprocate their loyalty, that's what I mean by they ignore your values, they ignore your peace, and they ignore your purpose. Now, at this point, when they expect you to do all those things, accept the bad behavior, accept all of the abuse, ignore how you truly feel, ignore your position in the relationship. At this point, it ain't loyalty, baby. It ain't loyalty anymore at that point. So that answers the question. If they expect you to ignore your peace, ignore your purpose, and just accept whatever, just based on the fact that you are in their circle or you are their quote, quote, friend, that ain't loyalty. It's never loyalty if someone is asking you to sacrifice yourself without any return. If they're asking you to sacrifice yourself, and you sacrifice yourself by your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health, if they are asking you to make those self-serving and self-sacrificing elements of your life, and they want you not to pay any attention to that, and they are going to continue to ignore it and not return it, that's not loyalty. So when you say your co-workers, or when you say your family members, I don't care who they are, when you say that they don't respect the fact that you're being loyal to them and they don't return it, then ain't the people you need to be loyal to. Hey, Sonia. All right, so let's make that point clear. Those people you do not need to be loyal to if they are not returning that same loyalty under the same conditions. And let me point that out, because as I said, when things are going beautifully, man, you know everybody's on the bandwagon. Everybody's pulling your coattail. Everybody's telling you how great you are. And they'll ride with you all day long until you experience some degree of difficulty. All right, we're at 2K, so I think we're gonna get to 3 again tonight. All right. So does anybody have anything to add before I continue? But it just grinds my gears because I see in so many instances and so many relationships where it's so one-sided, and the people who are really dominating the relationship, they don't see anything wrong with it. It's just the ones that are subservient.
I don't know. I don't learn to tell people keep that same energy. Keep it moving. Then I tell y'all I was a Kim, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Keep it moving. Keep that same energy. And I will talk to you. I will speak to you. I'll talk to you. I'll hold a conversation. But when you start talking too much, I'll just stop talking and tell you. That energy that you had a couple of days ago. Go find that. I mean, I used to have a problem, telling people things, but and now, people be like, oh, you just so hard. You just so that. Nah, because I done been soft too long, So now it's like, nah, just be a Kim. Just keep that thing moving. Keep it moving. Keep the same energy and go on. And some people will look at me real crazy, and I'll be like, you might not get it now. You know how you do us. You tell a joke and we don't get it till later. Yeah. Well, you gonna get this later. But for right now, I'm about to keep it moving for you. I ain't gonna stop for you. And that's just where I'm at right now in my life.
Hey, I'm with you 100% because I don't waste time myself. Once you show me that you're not adding any value,
right, to
my life, I can easily discard you. I can easily forget. I was brought up. I'm Baptist, Southern Baptist with Christian principles. So I'm not gonna see that you're dying and not give you any assistance. But I'm not gonna just allow you to bring that energy into my life. And you know that, Joy. And Keith, you know it as well.
I don't start saying, "Pass me not, old gentle." Listen, I ask the Savior, don't pass me by, but you could pass me right on by. Pass it by, cause I ain't really with that BS. I mean, and I am just very forward and very, um, I mean what I say and I say what I mean when it comes to that. I got to deal with a situation like that now. And I just look at I straighten my eyes up though, right? Because usually people, they be crossing and going everywhere. That's one time I focus, them will be straight because I don't want you to think nothing, but I'm looking you right in your eyes with these four right here. Pull it together, keep it moving. I'm just saying.
Hey, but just remember this for all the people on the line: when you're loyal to someone, and that same degree of loyalty is not being returned, it's not loyalty at all. That's not loyalty. Because in a relationship where loyalty is healthy, both people have the same mutual respect for each other. So if you're not getting that respect, then you're giving loyalty or you're being loyal to the wrong person. And that's a fact. All right. We don't owe anybody anything in this life. And half of what we get, we don't deserve anyway. So if you operate from that space, we don't owe anybody anything, even if they did something for you.
Somebody missed what you said because people feel like whether they have favor or not, and we're all, spiritually grounded here. So, whether they have favor or not, and a lot of people know when they have obtained favor, so whether they have favor or not, they feel like they are entitled or they, it is due to them. And it's just not that way. It's just not that way.
You're right. Listen, just because you're blessed, listen, and I say this masonically when I give my lectures, right? Just because you're blessed, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing for you. You understand? People look at abundance as being a blessing. Sometimes when the grand architect blesses you with an abundance, it's for a lesson. And that means that lesson has not been received by you yet. That doesn't mean you're going to lose everything, but I guarantee you that the lesson will be learned. You're not blessed just simply because you are you. You're blessed because you're, so number one, our first obligation is to ourselves, and then the second is to other people. We are supposed to bless other people when we have an abundance of things. As Tupac said, how can someone have $300 million, one person in the bank, and you got people in Washington, D.C., or wherever he was at during that time? I think he may have been in Maryland when he made that quote. And you have people who don't have nothing. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not trying to advocate to say, okay, now you got to go give all your money away or whatever you have. But I'm just saying that when you're blessed abundantly, it's not always because you or you're special. It's because you're supposed to do something. That's my belief, and that's how I live my life. All right? So now, we're going to talk about a very, very popular subject, and I hope all of you weigh in. Make your comments in the comment section so I can read them and see. All right? So let's take a look at how loyalty works in gang culture. Now, we know that in gang culture, that's one of the biggest components of being a member. Your loyalty is tested, right? And can I get an amen? Amen. So loyalty in gang culture is measured very differently than in healthy relationships. In gangs is often tied to risk, sacrifice, and obedience. Loyalty in gang culture is tied to risk, sacrifice, and obedience, not mutual growth or respect. So I'm going to give y'all a moment. Go bring your youngers in so we can give them this lesson. If you can't get to them right now, make sure that you save this live or go on my Facebook after I post it, because we haven't figured out how to post over an hour on TikTok yet. But it's often tied to risk, sacrifice, and obedience, and not mutual growth or respect. It involves proving yourselves by what? We've all heard that familiar term, by putting in work. You got to put in some work, right? In gang culture, loyalty is proven through actions. It's proven through actions, not words. Make sure y'all get that part. It's proven in actions and not words. Committing crimes such as robbery, assaults, drug activity, defending the gang in any conflict, regardless of your moral position, and taking risks that could lead to arrest or harm to yourself without any other consideration. When you sit on a mission, or when you're involved with that culture, you're expected to do certain things. Now, as what Keith said early on, say, yeah, we got you. You know, we got your back. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. Hey, the one thing that I've learned about life in my years on this planet is one thing you can't get back, and that's time. There's nothing more precious, and there's nothing that escapes us every day. When you get to the age where you got more days behind you than ahead of you, you learn to understand and start appreciating a lot of different things that you did during your younger days. All right. Sometimes, and most of the time, in gang culture, the more you're willing to risk your freedom or your life for, now pay attention to that. The more you are willing to risk your freedom and your life, the more you're looked at as being loyal. Now, we talked about that. Is that really loyalty? Remember, the definition of loyalty is a mutual respect and understanding for each other. Hey, Johnny, how are you? It's a mutual respect and understanding. A major loyalty test is when you and what you do under pressure. That's in gang culture. When you're under pressure, not cooperating with the police, taking charges without implementing others, or implicating others, and staying silent even when facing serious consequences. Those are the requirements. Breaking this code leads to being labeled as what? A snitch or a traitor. And I'm not going to stay on gang culture too long because we got bigger fish to fry. The reality behind it, while it's called loyalty, It often operates more like control and pressure, fear of consequences, and conditional acceptance. Now, why do people gravitate to games? Why do people find it a place or a safe haven? In most normal circumstances, it has to be the environment, and it has to be a lack of love or missing something that they desire. In most cases, that's what it is. Hey, Chris, good to see you. All right. Now, we all know what it feels like when you're in a relationship where loyalty is reciprocated. It feels good. You know that you can count on an individual. That's a good feeling. When you know when things get hard or things get kind of out of your control, that you have someone that you can kind of count on to be there for you. But we have to pay attention to what's healthy and what's not. That is the issue. You have to pay attention to whether or not that relationship is healthy or unhealthy. And that gang culture that we're talking about is rarely about your well-being. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice for the group. So we're clear on gang culture and why loyalty is looked at differently. Because it has nothing to do with the mutual respect. It has to do with what you're willing to do and what you're willing to sacrifice for the group. Now, what about loyalty between friends or family members? What about loyalty between friends or family members? Now I'll let y'all mull that over and let it marinate for a second or two. But I'll tell you this. Loyalty between friends is one of the strongest bonds that you'll ever have. Loyalty between friends is one of the strongest bonds you ever have. I love to see friendships that have developed to the point where they have that bond, and it's mutual. You can tell that they both have a mutual respect for each other. Now, what's distasteful to me is when there's manipulation in a relationship and only one person controls it and the other person just receives that pressure. It's one of the strongest bonds, as I said, but it also is one of the biggest sources of conflict. It's the greatest and one of the biggest bonds, but it's also the biggest source of conflict. That's because loyalty isn't just about standing by someone. That's not what loyalty is. It's not about just standing by someone. It's about how far you're willing to go, when, and at what cost. How far are you willing to go? When? And at what cost? Now, that's the true measurement of loyalty among friends. It involves having your friends back in tough situations, defending them even when they are not present, and being consistent, dependable, and trustworthy. Do I need to say that again? The true measure of loyalty among friends, it involves you having your friends back in tough and difficult situations, defending them even when they aren't present, and being consistent, dependable, and trustworthy. Now, I got a group of friends, and I mean, we all ride and die together, to include Keith and you too, DeJoy, that I know that these individuals, regardless of what somebody says, even if I'm present or not, I know these cats are individuals are going to stand up. But it took time to get that group of individuals.
100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So it takes a little time because you got to go through the weeds. You got to weed out all those bad apples. And then you finally get to the nucleus. But once you form that nucleus of friends who really will have your back, and no matter what happens, they got you. I got a couple of friends that are multimillionaires, and those cats call or they'll come up here and they'll say, "Hey, you need something," or "Hey, what's going on with you?" And I'm talking about big money. I ain't talking $1,000, $2,000. I'm talking about 6 digits. Well, they're like, because listen, when you've had some experiences in your life, and you are at that right young age where you appreciate everything and understand life as it's intended to be, man, a lot of things that people find important are not that important to a close-knit group of friends, especially when we talk about monetarily. That means nothing to the group of girls and guys that I deal with now. And that makes my life very rewarding. And it adds value because I know there's nothing that I can't ask for that I won't be able to get. And vice versa. They know it. So that's a loyalty that's built on experiences. And some of them, like I said, we were all military guys, Desert Storm and Desert Shield, where there was a whole different vibe. There was a whole different feel to how friendships were formed. Because when you're talking about wars, you don't know if you're coming back or not. So you make amends with all your people and your closest friends. You become very, very close. And that's what I appreciate about the understanding of what loyalty is.
Well, you know how I be rolling. I get mad. Somebody say something. I be like, "Oh no, I'm taking." You be like, "Well, such number." No, I don't got their number no more. I took them out my whole life because they had said such and such and such and such.
Hey, Keith, it don't take a minute for her to deadline you, man. I'll tell you one thing. I be trying to tell. I say, "Hey, look, DeJoy, you have to give people an opportunity. We all, we all make mistakes." She's like, "Nope."
Yep.
She's like, "Nope, no."
I know
that's it. It's over. They're done.
Yeah, because I know that I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I know If I know you and they know I know you and they saying this or doing it, don't think I'm gonna come tell everything. I ain't one of them people that be like, well, you know, such and such. I ain't gonna tell you who said. No, I'm gonna tell you. Bobby went to the corner and he said, and I told him I was telling, and
Oh
don't say
Lord.
it because it ain't true. And I'm finna call right now, and I'm finna tell
Oh.
him that Bobby said. I don't play
Hey,
that.
Even
Keith,
though
no
we not doing no crimes, I'm gonna make sure I never do no crime with you.
look.
No,
Hey,
no,
look.
that's as if you do wrong by what about you know, hey,
What she's talking about, she's a true loyal friend, Keith. She's talking about if somebody says something about you, me, or somebody that she's close
and I
to.
will do it.
She ain't sitting on the sideline just saying, going along with it. She letting it be known. Nah, that's the wrong thing to say.
And he
And
know
I'm
I
going
will.
to.
He know I will do it. That what I don't care who you family. You could be family. My own child. Whatever. No, you're not finna do that because you know. And I will
And
tell.
that's why we love you. We need people like that in our corner
Absolutely.
that's ride or die no matter
Absolutely.
what. Yeah, no, for real. We with you on that. Yeah, nah.
Hey,
Yeah.
she's true ride or die. I can tell
I
you
know she is. That's why I just said that. Now, hell, I know the joy of ride or die. She is like bad boys, you know what I'm saying? Like ride or
Yeah, we
die.
ride together. We die together.
Yeah.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
I
yeah.
mean, I ain't necessarily gonna say I'm really ready when it's time for us to go. But if I gotta go with you, I gotta go. Cause
Hey, but
we ain't
check this
playing.
out. So loyalty it's about telling the truth. And even sometimes it's very uncomfortable to tell your people the truth. But in the long run, you're gonna help them. If you don't tell them the truth, you're enabling them. Now, when you tell them the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem, this builds a deep sense of trust. How many times have you talked to somebody and you might have got pissed off because they told you about yourself, but when you had that cooling period and when it sat down, you appreciated it more and you had more respect for that individual who told you that? Has that ever happened?
I'm an
It happened.
athlete, man. Your coach pisses you off every day.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what I mean? The best coaches were the ones that were the hardest on you, and you look back later in life and you say, man, that made me who I am.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh
they
yeah.
didn't accept what you had to say. They didn't accept any excuses because they saw in you what you didn't see in yourself. And they made you and forced you to be better. And you had to make a choice. Either you quit or you keep going. And if you
And
keep
they
going, that means you're accepting their coaching and their mentorship. And that's it.
and they didn't allow you to perform in mediocrity. They
Yeah, hell
made you
no.
perform to your potential. And
Right,
that's what a lot of people as athletes, you
right.
get mad. I used to, when I was playing Pop Warner Sports and back in high school and whatnot, I used to get mad because I'm like, I'm doing more than anybody else on the court, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing coach said, nah, that ain't enough because you can do more.
Yeah.
So, that's a valuable lesson. When you just because you're outplaying everybody else, doesn't mean that your work is done. That means that okay, coach is gonna look at you and say, okay, you aren't really measuring up to your potential. Especially in the military, when you get into those intramural sports and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
them cats about honor and unit and all that, man, they love winning. So you ain't gonna be out there. I don't care if you scoring 60, 70 points like Michael Jordan. If you lollygag and get down the court and whatnot, no, you gonna hear it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I
But that's
learned mine from my grandma because she'll tell you straight up, and it used to cut me like a knife. I used to be so mad,
oh yeah.
So she'll
Oh
tell
yeah,
you,
I know
she
what you mean.
she'll tell you lying in a minute. She'll tell. Now, mama ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I'm gonna tell you with them no teeth sometime and them fingernails, bruh. She'll come out and call you a lie in a minute, and she
Yeah, you
will.
crazy. You crazy.
She will. She would. She gone now. But she would tell you that. She'll come out and be pointing at you. Now, I ain't finna tell nobody else so they can come to you. I'm gonna tell you, use a damn lie. And that's how she used to do. So, baby, she was a
Yeah,
thumb.
that's that old school. They didn't bite their tongue at all. That's for sure. Yeah. But like I said, it's about telling the truth, and that really builds a sense of trust in the relationship, the kind that make friendships last. But problems start when loyalty expectations don't meet the reality. Problems start when loyalty expectations don't match the reality. It's blind loyalty versus honest loyalty. Y'all write that down. Blind loyalty versus honest. One friend expects you to ride or die, as we talk about DeJoya. No matter what, they want you, if they right or wrong indifference, they want you to ride with it. And the other one believes, I'll support you, but I won't support wrong behavior. That's blind loyalty versus honest loyalty. That's what causes the conflict. The expectations are not realistic. They want you to ride regardless. They start saying things after it's over, like you switched up on me versus, and your position is, I'm just trying to keep you straight and keep you right and keep you out of trouble. So that's a big issue when we start talking about loyalty. Another big problem is, and I think we've all experienced this. Oh man, I hate this. Well, I'm a master at it now, but I used to hate this. Being put in the middle between mutual friends. Man, when you got one person. I know you're laughing because you experienced it and you know just what I'm talking about. You got two people that you like or love equally the same, and then something happens with that relationship, and then both of them expect you to side with them. That's a very awkward position to be in.
Listen, I'll tell you real quick, just keep, so I don't gotta say now. I'll be like, I don't want to confirm or deny.
Look here.
Take myself up out of here.
This is a lesson that my mother taught me long years ago. And again, happy birthday, Mom. Right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't care who it is. Right is wrong is wrong. And not only that, the truth is the truth no matter who tells it. So I default to that. And I might have to explain that to them. But now I'm not going to get caught up in your mess and get caught up in put me in a difficult situation where I'm second guessing and feeling bad about.
Man, I'll look at you real quick with these real cross eyes and won't say nothing. Look, I'm trying to tell you. I tell you in a minute, I can't even see straight. How you expect me to choose? I ain't doing it.
Hey, but again, we are trying to give the clinical and logical definition of what loyalty is. That's not, excuse me, that's not loyalty when you got to pick a side.
Then I just tell you so I don't have to. My eyes are crossing and I'll be like, I can't even see straight. How you expect me to pick a side?
Yes.
I can't do it.
Yes.
Bro, I cross them real quick. Yeah, I take the glasses off so they can't stay straight. How you expect me to tell the truth?
Hey, but that, all right, let me finish. All right, that's when loyalty becomes. You are wild. You are wild.
Yeah, you tripping, yo. You
I'm
really
Yeah,
tripping
trying to
right
you
tell
now.
are,
you.
man.
Yeah.
At least I'm telling y'all the truth now.
Hey,
Whew.
that's when loyalty becomes pressure and not a choice. In loyalty, you have a choice. When you have pressure without that choice, it's no longer loyalty. Another problem is unequal loyalty. That's when one friend shows up consistently, as you said to Georgia, while the other only shows up when it benefits them. Can I get an amen? We all
Yep,
got them.
I bet you Trump can tell you how, cause that's how he do. Look at him. Look at that man. Shit. Ooh.
All right, all right. Let me finish up. Let me finish up.
I'm trying to tell you. Shoot.
The
Okay, go.
conflict comes and the resentment starts to build. When one person always shows up and the other person only shows up when it benefits them, the conflict starts to come and the resentment starts to build. That's when we feel I do more for you than you do for me. That's a one-sided relationship. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes when we protect our friends by being loyal, we're only enabling them. We're not helping them, we're enabling them. When you cover for a friend because they're lying, hiding their bad decisions, lying and hiding those bad decisions that they made, not you, they made them. Instead of holding them accountable, that's when you enable. And when you enable someone, that can only hurt them in the long run. Simple, point blank, period. It can only hurt them in the long run. Listen, loyalty is a valuable quality. It is a valuable quality that builds trust. It strengthens the relationship. This is what loyalty is supposed to do. It's supposed to build trust. It's supposed to strengthen your relationship. And it creates a sense of stability and support, especially during difficult times. However, when it becomes unbalanced, or blind, or one sided, it can lead to being taken advantage of. So we want to make sure that all the people in our lives check out the main points that we're making, because we don't want any of you to be taken advantage of and thinking that you're doing the right thing. You're being foolish if you're loyal to someone who is not loyal to you. You're being foolish if you allow someone to take away your values and put you in harm's way with the expectation that you're not going to tell, or that you're not going to save yourself. You're going to do it for their benefit. You're being foolish. The key to loyalty is balance between both parties. It's the balance between both parties. Loyalty should be mutual, grounded in respect, and never, ever, never, ever, ever should it require you to compromise who you are. It should never, force you to compromise who you are. True loyalty supports both the relationship and your integrity at the same time. True loyalty supports both the relationship and your integrity at the same time. And if it's not doing that, it's something else. It ain't loyalty. So don't be fooled. All right. So, DeJoy and Keith, do you all have anything before I close out? This is another great one, and we put out a lot of good information, and I truly hope that people will take this back and apply it to their lives and just take away from some of the key points that we pointed out to become better and to enhance their lives, because that's why we do this. We do this so that you can gain something and enhance your lives. All right?
I think I gave everybody enough advice.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. Yeah, cool.
All right. So here we go. In conclusion, loyalty should protect the relationship. It should protect the relationship, not trap you in it. We can easily get trapped if we don't understand what loyalty is. Because once, you know that old proverbial, when you get too in too deep, it's hard to get up out of there. So it can trap you if you're not careful. If loyalty forces silence, pressure, or self-betrayal, it will eventually turn to conflict. No doubt, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It will turn to conflict if it forces silence from you to be quiet, pressure, putting you in a position where you really don't have a choice, or self-betrayal, meaning conflict with your own values. It will turn to conflict. However, if loyalty allows for truth, growth, and mutual respect, it becomes unbreakable. So you need to put that in your cup and smoke it, or your pipe and smoke it, because they use everything now. If it allows for growth, truth, and mutual respect, it becomes unbreakable. But anyway, you all, thanks all of you for coming in here tonight. We're going to see y'all next Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday on TikTok. Always look out for We Talk, OUITALK. That's French, oui. Okay? So take care. We love you all. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, au revoir, goodbye, and we will see you all next Wednesday. Take care.